Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today for another shave review video. We're looking at the new Proof 2.0 and we're using some other classic barbershop supplies from Razor Emporium. So let's get started. Well, you know, I always like to take the opportunity to give you guys a quick lather tutorial. I still get emails and comments about this. I love filling up this jar with just a bunch of water on top and just soaking it in, and then I kind of do one of these, I dump it out, and now you can see I have a decent amount of water in there, and just agitate for a few seconds, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, that's all it really needs. You're just kind of doing a load. Now I'm gonna go right over to the face and just start whipping it around. A little soapy, watery. But as soon as I do some heavy agitation, it's gonna turn from a soup to a soap. And I got the same email, the same guy keeps on commenting that my slapping my face with the brush is ridiculous. Guys, I'm not just like slapping it for fun, I'm actually applying it, like I'm distributing it. Like when I go like this, I'm kind of picking some up from one area and moving it over, and then I can smooth it out. So it's not just a like some nervous habit or some weird fetish thing I have of a wet badger slapping against me. The same guy keeps on commenting. I was just like, why does it bother you so much how I lather? You know, I'm not trying to brag too much, but I think I would put my lather abilities up against just about anyone else who makes videos. If you think there's someone who can make a better, quicker lather than me, what was that, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds? Let me know in the comments. Other than that, we're gonna get started. So Proof has been on the scene out of Montana, USA, making single-sided double-edged razors, meaning it uses just half a double-edged blade. And these guys have kind of been really popular in the last I think last year or two maybe. And we're really excited. We've been carrying them. We've been selling a lot of them. And they've come out with what they're calling their 2.0. So they've listened to some feedback from customers and maybe some retailers and have incorporated a couple changes. Real quick, we'll go over those changes. They've inserted a stainless steel insert. They've added a stainless steel insert into this previously hollow area. So you see there's a different tone of metal. It's more of a gray kind of metal. That's actually stainless steel, which is pretty heavy, compared to the rest of the construction's aluminum, which is pretty light. So they're adding it there to add a little bit of weight. They'll probably also argue balance, but I think that's always subjective because you can change balance by simply changing where you hold it at. Either way, it's adding weight. They added this little chamfer, like ridge area on the back of the head, which makes it really easy to get your fingernail underneath and flip it off or kind of grab at it and get that off easier to change blades. And they also added more of this scallop guard, as I call it, kind of like a wavy guard, which is pretty popular in the shaving world. And that's supposed to clear lather a little bit better, have hair flow through it and stubble and shaving cream so that maybe the blade doesn't get so loaded up. And so it can be more efficient with multiple strokes. Guys, this razor here uses a standard double-edged blade, but it uses just half of it. So you can take any double-edged blade, and while it's still in the envelope, fold it in half, and you'll hear two little snaps. That's good. That means the seal just cracked. And you can take out just half of one of these blades now, and then take off the cap. And they've actually improved this one with a little ridge back here, so you can get your fingernail kind of underneath it, and take that off. And now I can drop this blade in place, and there's a magnet, so it's really going to help hold it. And then I just have to put this back over the top. Easy as that. So that all being said, I think they also improved the case a little bit that comes with it, that there's a room for a comb, which they now also make and sell combs. So you can incorporate the comb storage and your razor storage into one little cool holder. I think it's a nice feature. I'm a big fan. Let's give it a shot. So all of these razors that require the pushing, I'm not a immediate like super fanboy for. That's not a criticism, it's just my preference. Ever since I became a wet shaver, the idea of a spring-loaded head always kind of was counterintuitive. I like the fixed head that doesn't really move as you're using it, but I'm not hating whatsoever. I'm simply saying that if you're coming over from the cartridge world, it's actually a really good stepping stone because it's more familiar, that you can just kind of push and the razor will flatten out and will kind of find the angle for you versus you having to figure that out with your arm. But that being said, think of all the guys out there, these guys do a really nice job. And I love that it's made in America. And I love that the price point. I think their fit and finish is really nice. I don't know if I'd say this is worlds better than the original, but I think these little features are, it's always good to see a brand incorporating customer feedback. I'm not sure if they're going to stop selling the original or if this is just like a new and improved and the original will still be available. As of the time of this filming, this was actually a demo they sent me, so that's why I'm demoing it for you. But we already emailed them asking about stock. I know when they came out with their straight razor, they didn't offer it as wholesale for a little bit, but now we did just get their straight razor. Yeah, so just like a cartridge razor, my first feedback is that I'm happy to push and use more pressure than I would if it was a fixed head. But in terms of the blade exposure and the kind of aggressive, it's very mild, very easy to shave with. And yes, guys, I'm using a Rex blade. They do include a blade. I believe it's an Accutech blade. But I'm not additioning the blade, I'm additioning the razor, so I use the blade I know. And can you believe it? I don't have a goatee right now, Matt. Finally, I'm a legitimate razor shop owner. I don't have a goatee, but I guess I need to have to take some points off for having the mustache still. Well, last time we were in the studio, we had a beard. We shaved that off, and I left the mustache. As I was headed down to Tombstone, Arizona with my son on spring break. Let me tell you, I looked good. I looked like I belonged there. All the other actors who do gunfights and stuff, you know, they had grown their own natural facial hair out. You want to look like Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday or Morgan Earp, Virgil Earp. But I've come to like the mustache look, and I think we'll keep it for a little while. And the wife did not even object to the soul patch. But I remember, you know, I only shaved my chin, I think, 2 or 3 times since the last video. I've come to realize why I liked having a goatee for so long. Let's come over here. But I want to make sure that it's clear that I'm impressed with what this razor is for what it is. It's very smooth and comfortable. It's very easy to use. But I always want you guys to know that, like, when I do reviews, I'm just doing... I'm doing my honest opinion. I don't have like a pre-scripted, like, oh, here's how my conclusions are going to be. Here's what I need to say, other than like, you know, the points of the product, like product features and stuff. But all of my dialogue to you guys is completely ad-lib, completely in the moment, completely unscripted. And it's honest. I always want you guys to know you can trust me that what I'm saying is at least my honest opinion. It may not be fact for everybody, but you know, a lot of this industry is subjective in the sense that your mileage may vary. What works for you may not work for somebody else. Your preferences may not be someone else's preferences. But I can tell you, if someone came to my shop and they said, Matt, I love the idea of the brush and the quality soap and saving money on blades, but man, I'm scared of the fixed blade or straight razor. What else do you got? I'd be like, get this, get a proof. Like the one tricky area I'm having trouble. I may reach down to Old Faithful down here. My DE89 is right here. I have come to find, I remember now, after having to go T for so long, that this area, like right underneath my mustache, the top of my chin is just like the most sensitive. And it's also like super coarse and stubbly, and it's just hard to get to at the angles. That pivoting head was not doing the best job, I would say, in that one area, but everything else was really straightforward. And I'm sure if I didn't have a mustache and I was less concerned about trying to like maintain a line, but even here, like above my sideburn, see, I just prefer that you just line it up and you pull straight down and you get a straight line. The thing with the flexible heads, and it's not just this guy, any of these, you kind of line it up and then you start to pull, but then it flexes in place. So you almost have to like prematurely push in and then pull if you want to really maintain a line. I mean, even Gillette knew this with their Fusion. They put that little styling, the one styling blade on the back of their head because they knew their head was large and flexible and it was hard to like line up, and that's what they called it. They called it a little lineup blade. So it's a 5+1 razor system. Okay, but no, we finished off good. No visible nicks or irritation that I can see. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up with some barbershop aftershave balm. No visible nicks or irritation that I see. Nice shave. Nice, you know, change for their line that they get to have you some, you know, improved design. It's good. That shows also that they're around, hopefully to stay. I've watched in the last, you know, guys, again, I've not humble bragging, but I've been in this industry for about 20 years. And I've watched a lot of guys come around and they go. As soon as they come, within a year or two, they're gone. Whether it's soap makers, razor makers, you know, someone comes in making a big splash and then they're out. So I hope these guys are not in that boat, and the fact that they're making a second version is a good sign that they're not. Looks like I actually do have one little weeper, and it's right what I said, on my upper chin area. So I'll have to dig through my little treasure trove over here and find a styptic pencil when we're done filming. But that's all I got, guys. Check out the new Proof 2.0 if you haven't already done so. Check out Razor Emporium shaving soap. If you haven't already done so, it's a sleeper, guys. It is one of the better on the market, I have to say. And of course, the Rex blades always perform. We loved it. We want some more of it. If you have a comment about what I used today, about flexible, single-sided, double-edged razors, or the mustache, whatever you want to comment on, please tell me below in the comments. That's all we have for you guys today. Please like this video if you like it. Share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. And we'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. Thanks, guys.